And it changes everything, your perspective of who he is.
Right.
And who he is in your life. It changes everything, because we were talking about the power that raised Jesus from the dead, and we think of the power, and that same power lives in us. But if you look at Romans 8:11, it says the Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead.
Right.
The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. Lives in you. Imagine if we believed that. Imagine if our perception was that the same power, the same person that raised up Jesus from the dead, the same person that raised him up from that grave, that got into that tomb with him and lifted him up and raised him from death, hell, and the grave, and sickness and disease and poverty and lack and fear and discouragement. All those things, the power, the person that raised him up lives inside of you and in me. Our perspective on life would change. Totally. You talk about having glad and sincere hearts. I would be happy to know that the God of the universe lives inside of me, because God said he does. Romans said the same one lives in me, and he is God. He is just as much God as the Father is God. He is just as much God as Jesus is God. He is not less than, he is part of the Trinity. He is holy. He is to be revered. He is to be honored. He is to be recognized. He's to be acknowledged. He's to be invited. He is to be surrendered to. He is God, and he lives in us. The same power, the same person that raised Jesus up from the dead. And if we believed that, we would change everything about how we pursue life, how we face life, how we face trouble. It says he lives in me. That means in every storm, every battle, every hard place, every overwhelming place, everything that catches me off guard, every tongue that rises against me, every weapon formed against me, God is in me. God lives in me. The same God that was in Genesis 1 who hovered over the face of the waters. The Bible says that the word was void, and it was dark, and it was empty, and the Spirit of God hovered and hung out over that. When you look up that word hovered, it means it's the same thing. It's a picture of a mother eagle hovering over her babies, encouraging them to fly. That's what that word means. The Spirit of God hovers over your life and over my life 24/7. Every dark place, every void place, every dead place, every empty place, and he hovers over there, and he tells you, get up, you can fly, we can make it. He's the one that causes all things to work together for your good. He's the power force. He is in you. He is with you. He is for you. And if we understood that he's not a goosebump, he's not an idea, he's not a feeling, he's not enthusiasm, he's not a backup plan, he's not an option, he's not unimportant, he's not unnecessary. He is God. He was infinite in majesty. He is infinite in glory. He is infinite in splendor. He is infinite in wisdom. He is infinite in knowledge, and he is infinite in holiness, and he is God. And the word says that he lives in me. How can any weapon formed against me prosper when the power of God literally lives and resides on the inside of me? Everywhere my feet go, every battle I face, every giant that would dare raise its head, every struggle that comes my way, every storm, every wave, the God who created all things lives in us. You imagine what kind of people we would be if we didn't just profess to be Spirit-filled, but we really believed that we were.
Come on. I know you're all ready to say amen. You were waiting for that, weren't you?